2, 1, go. Hey guys, and welcome to another Dota casting Dotacast. It's myself, Knoxville, and Crazy Monkey.
Once again.
Oh, unfortunately for all of you. No, I'm just joking, Crazy Monkey. How's your day been? Great. Ready for some good Dota, hopefully?
Yeah, man, my day's been awesome. A bit of casual gaming today, and a bit of reading up on Dota too.
Ooh, don't want to be the Dota noob in the room.
No, don't.
Anyway, today we're going to be casting a game between SK Gaming, formerly Nevo, and Monkeybusiness. Obviously without Cinderin, that's the change that occurred between that team's transition all the way back in the day from Nevo and Shift all the way now to SK Gaming. Very top and highly regarded team. And
Where are they from?
they are European. I can't.
Probably one of those mixed European sides.
I'm pretty sure most of them are Swedish.
Okay.
Or Finnish. I know Cinderin is Danish. I'm actually not too sure. I just regard them as a bunch of Europeans. Anyway, and they're going to be playing against SGC. SGC is a team that we saw in the international. Quite a highly regarded team. Kranik, Sun1, Warlog, Tulix, Golak, and yeah, hopefully it's going to be quite an interesting game. It's captain's mode. Only the first ban each has gone off, and yeah, we've seen the Radiant. Who's the Radiant band there?
That looks like a.
I actually
there's
have.
a Windrunner, and then there's.
It looks like a Slardar. I'm actually not too sure about this portrait. Now we look like a bunch of noobs. I actually can't even see. I think I need a new monitor here, definitely. It looks like Slardar, though. For some reason, I think that. Anyway, we definitely know the second ban by SK Gaming's Windrunner, and the first ban by SGC is Anti-Mage. Oh, I feel like such a noob now. Just,
Well, you haven't played the game like other people have daily.
yeah, I've been so busy with my full-time job. Gaming's taking a back seat.
My only excuse is that Valve don't like me, and they haven't given me a beta key yet.
I think it's a racist thing, though.
Maybe.
No, there was an interesting post on Reddit about how South African gamers have been left out of the mix as such.
Yeah, we've actually been left out of quite a few things. I know most of the Diablo keys as well. Left out of that just purely because of where you stayed.
Yeah, and they don't have servers locally for us, so
yeah.
there's no point in having us in the
no
beta.
point.
Anyway, we see the last ban by SGC was Prophets, formerly Furion, and first pick straight away by SK Gaming is Night Stalker. Very powerful hero. We've seen him a lot since International. Actually, even before that, Artstyle introduced him. I believe I would credit it with Artstyle of introducing him into the current meta game. Very powerful hero. And it's definitely a hero that you have to deal with when you're picking counters.
Yeah.
Anyway, SGC picking up, they obviously get 2 picks straight off the bat afterwards. They're picking up Lich and Mirana. Looks like Crystal Maiden, but less hearts. And Lich is actually quite a decent counter in some regards. A team counter for Night Stalker. Frost armor, huge armor, slows melee attack, very powerful against the Night Stalker.
Yeah. And Radiant choosing Tidehunter, another powerful hero. Yeah, it's I don't know. What do you think is gonna happen with these current picks? I mean, you have Weaver, which can solo,
Mm-hmm.
but you have Tidehunter as well. So, like, what do you think? So.
I think the Night Stalkers at the moment is looking to solo mid. Weaver can potentially solo long lane or solo safe lane. Tidehunter, babysit, aggressive try, can do pretty much anything. They're in a very open position now. They haven't really been defined by what's going to happen. They haven't said this is what we're going to do. We don't have any flexibility. In the same way, so for SGC. I mean, Lich can go anywhere. Potsum can go anywhere. No, they haven't really said this is what we're going. They haven't openly declared a Spectre or a hero which the whole game will be shaped around.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the Weaver was a very good pick after they picked up the Night Stalker. Not just because Night Stalker is inherently a good counter for the Weaver, but also because Weaver itself is a very strong hero. I mean, we saw in the International how he was such a high pick, top tier pick, and
Yes, with his Shuki.
yeah, if someone calls it tricky ever again, I'll be upset.
Yeah, it was like the only thing I heard in during the international was people just like Shuki.
And last pick, Vengeful Spirit by SGC. SGC, I mean, they're not by any means a poor team. Maybe a little bit less well known than SK Gaming. SK Gaming, international gaming franchise. So Spectre getting second phase first banned by SGC. I mean by SK Gaming. SGC, of course, not unfamiliar with Spectre, able to include him very easily in their draft. Crystal Maiden being an interesting ban by SGC. Any insight into that, Crazy Monkey?
I'm not sure why they would ban Crystal Maiden. Would Crystal maybe probably be used to try and contain Night Stalker?
I think it's the other way around. I think it's more of a defensive pick in the sense that Crystal Maiden is an amazing hero. Provides aura which would hugely benefit a Night Stalker. Hugely benefits a Weaver. And of course, Tidehunter and Crystal Maiden, very powerful combination. So I think that it wasn't a bad ban. And at the same time, it's not very likely that SGC are going to be picking it. They've got two heroes that can play support in Vengeful Spirit and Lich.
Yeah.
They might want to pick up another one later, or half supports. And yeah, I just think that I mean, Crystal Maiden would just be food for the Night Stalker. Tidehunter ultis, Night Stalker voids once, Crystal Maiden's dead. Anyway, we see the last two bands, Earthshaker and Shadow Shaman, also known as Rasta. Shadow Shaman we've seen a lot of play recently, especially in this. We saw a very interesting dual lane middle in a game that we were casting last night that actually we forgot to stop pressing record.
Oh yeah, that was quite funny actually. Me, myself, and Ben were casting last night after the first game we cast, which is up on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't. It's our first cast. It's kind of rocky, but you know we're learning. Anyways, back onto the story. We were casting last night, and 20 to 30 minutes into the game, we realized that we weren't recording the game. It was just so soul crushing.
Yeah, we didn't carry on casting. We were like, oh my god, this is retarded.
Yeah.
Anyway, we see Lion getting picked up for SK Gaming. Lion, very popular pick in the current Dota 2 metagame, which is of course a completely different barrel of fish to Dota 1 metagame. I'm not actually sure what the lanes are going to be at this stage. I think Weaver is going to be in a defensive lane. Night Stalker going to be solo mid. I think they're going to be very aggressive here. At the same time, Lion could also solo mid. Ooh, Weaver pick coming up by SGC. That's going to change the tempo of how the game is going to work. That Viper is going to either make or break this game. If he fails solo mid, which I think is a very likely possibility against the Night Stalker, then he's going to be almost useless. You know, he's going to have no items, going to have no potential.
Low health, very easy target.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, he does do reasonably good DPS. You know?
Yeah, he does.
With Nether Toxin, very powerful. But if the other team's doing well, Viper's not necessarily a hero which is going to pull you back into the game.
Yeah.
SGC need to get ahead and they need to stay ahead. I'd be very interested to see what SK picks up as their last pick. I think it's potential that they'd pick up a Venomancer. You know, decent support, synergizes well with Tidehunter if they dual roaming, and then they're running 3 solos with 2 supports running around the map trying to get some kills. At the same time, also, Puck, great team fight potential. Very powerful after a Tidehunter ulti, or to set up a Tidehunter ulti. And also can escape heroes like Lich and Potom and Viper, you know, Orb.
Yeah.
And waning Rift.
Waning Rift, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what last pick is going to be here for SGC. I'm pretty sure the Viper's going to solo mid. Vengeful Spirits and Lich top. Potem solo bot, maybe a Void, maybe some sort of hard carry, or they could go for an Enigma and go for huge team fight potential. I'd be a little bit less inclined to do that against the team. Oh, Clockwork. Clockwork. So Clockwork, we saw a powerful X-played Clockwork last night.
Yeah.
In the game that's never made it to the internet. I'm not actually sure how the lanes are going to work here. I think Clockwork might be the one that's going to solo the long lane, and we'll have to see what SGC has up their sleeve. As I said, Dota 2 metagame hasn't really settled yet. There's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of strategies to explore before the game is settled as such.
Are they're still working on the heroes, right? Like they haven't actually completed the whole library of heroes.
No,
yet.
yeah. So heroes get added every couple of days, and well, every week on Thursday. Not every week, but most weeks on Thursday they get added, and there's been a slight indication that the next hero art's going to be Nightstore.
Oh right,
Lifestealer. Because the topic on the Dota blog was Feast, which was obviously a reference to Thanksgiving, but at the same time, I think it was also a Valvism representing that Nightstalker is going, and Lifestealer is going to be joining this pool, which I think is going to be a very interesting addition. Obviously, the interaction between Lifestealer and Spectre and Anti-Mage, he's the one hero that can kill a Spectre later on in the game. It's a very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see. Ooh, how's this Rocket? Rocket doesn't really get vision. Looks like Lion and Nightstalker moving towards bottom. Tidance are a little bit further behind. Very slow at the blocks. Puck solo mid. And Weaver long lane. Exchange lane. Middle is Potem. Bottom looks like Vengeful Spirit.
We got a rocket off there.
Oh, do you think they hit anyone?
Yeah, I did.
Hits the Tidance. Oh, well spotted.
You
got the you got eyes of a ninja. Top lane Viper. Viper's definitely going to be settled into that top lane as soon as he can.
Another rocket. Oh, that
Ooh,
was
close.
Oh, I don't know. It was really close.
Lion picks up the first rune of the game, the 0-minute rune, heading towards bottom. Bottom is Clockwork going to be playing that exchange lane. Middle lane, could be a tri lane. I don't think so though. We can see two heroes moving towards middle. It's the Lich and the Mirana. Mirana obviously going to be getting a little bit more farming priority. Trying to get up that phase boots or treads and Yasha, some DPS. This Lion wants to go forward to hit Warlog, but Warlog kind of aware of the situation, keeping it quite far back, quite safe. Top lane Weaver versus Viper, huge damage coming off on Kranich. Kranich's a really well-known player, very respected player from what I understand, and Angel missing is one of the creeps that we see him trying to get. Mid lane Puck versus Potem, interesting lineup. I think that it's a very, very even lineup, very even lane. Bot lane, of course, going to go the way of the Radiant, and top lane almost definitely going to go the way of the Dire. We'll just have to see how well this Weaver can handle the exchange lane. Having to tango and back up, getting a hit off on the Vengeful Spirit. Very important that you keep their support low. That allows Weaver to really just turn around a tri lane and get kills somehow. So
Ben, why don't you tell us about Casters Unite and what's the vision?
Okay, well,
just to get the some of the viewers a bit of a heads up on what's going to happen.
So the vision behind Casters Unite, it's still in beta. The idea is, there's a bunch of casting sites out there where you can apply to join, and then you can join, and then you're like part of the crew as such. And like, I'm just not like convinced that that's like the best way to handle like casting. There's a lot of great potential out there when it comes to casters. A lot of casters I even hear about like these days who've been around for ages and are very, very good casters. So the whole idea behind Casters Unite is, if you want to cast for Casters Unite, if you want to be listed on Casters Unite, and you make decent, you're a decent caster, all you do is you just subscribe on the site, and if we'll have a look at your YouTube channel, have a look at your cast, and if we think you're good enough, which I mean, there are hundreds of good casters out there.
Yeah.
Then we'll just start listing you on our site, and other people, when they're looking for a game, can just come look on Casters Unite to see what's up.
Yeah.
So that's the vision behind Casters Unite, and hopefully there's a lot of gaming casters out there that are interested in joining. Anyway, back to this game. We see our Night Stalker, very much a free farm. Level 1 still in the Clockwork. He's playing ultra safe. He doesn't want to give away First Blood. I think if First Blood was given away in another lane, he might be a little bit more aggressive, trying to get some levels, trying to get some creeps, even if he dies, you know, and he is feeding one of their carries. At the same time, he is, you know, developing as a as a character himself. Sounds like a porn novel.
Yeah.
Finally getting
So
level 2. It looks like they might go on tower diving here. Tidehunter coming from behind and line. He's running towards the enemy. It's definitely going to cause a lot of tankage to occur by... Oh, he could do... He's doing really well to get away. I think he definitely is caught though. Doesn't have boots. At the same time, none of the support have boots. Very close to another gush. 120 mana. Has enough mana. They decide to not go for it. I think that was a wise decision. I think very well played by Clockwork. Clockwork, a lesser Clockwork might have just right-clicked that base and hoped for the best. Taken his hands off the keyboard and just hoped. Anyway, top lane, nothing really happening. Viper using quite a lot of regen to stay in the lane now, but the Lich is actively trying to babysit him.
So Vengeful Spirit grabbing a double damage rune, making his way up to top lane.
I mean, remember, he is level 1, and Weaver can just...
Wow,
I nearly said Shooky.
level 1 after 4 minutes, edging onto 5.
Playing true support here. Angel, just gets off the Shooky. And having to use a healing salve. 100 gold for a healing salve. Probably not the most economical for him to try trade regen against the enemy. That's something that they'd be wanting to do. So unless he can almost definitely get a kill, I think he should just stay back as far as possible, get some creeps, get up some regen items, Vanguard. And here we go. First nighttime. Day at 4 p.m. Night Stalker doesn't really have the items, I don't think, yet to start roaming. He's opted for a Ring of Health. He's got to earn his shadows. Yes, you might say that's definitely enough to get kills, but I think that it would be better if he just got a few more core items before he started roaming. Maybe just even boots.
Yeah. Does nighttime start at 5?
I'm pretty sure he ultied. Okay, so Night
Isn't he
Stalker...
level 5? He's level 5.
No, I think Night Stalker... Night starts at 4 p.m.?
Okay.
Daylight savings, Lutanda. That's how it works in Europe.
Okay.
Uh,
All has confused me.
Yeah, I spent most of the day dealing with time zones today, and thankfully it's over.
Okay.
Anyway, the game's kind of reaching a lull here. Everyone's happy to sit back and try to see how their draft's working out for them. I mean, there is a sentry ward here still top there. They're trying to see if they can get a kill on that Weaver. I don't think it's very likely. Angel playing quite defensively. The question is really going to come down to this mid game when a Night Stalker starts roaming and whether or not he's effective. He's not going for a bottle probably because the pack already has one. So he's going to have to rely on getting kills to keep his earn charges up. And that's going to really determine the tempo of how the game works. Calculus up to level 6. Has his ulti. He's gone 1-1-1 between phase shift and silence. Quite standard. Mirana maxing out Starfall. Only 2 levels in arrow and 1 level in leap. That's also quite kind of standard. Some players do prefer to get that 2nd level in leap. Not necessarily because of the cooldown in terms of getting away, but the cooldown between using it. I mean, if it's got a much less cooldown, you can try get an arrow, you can leap in, you can Starfall, and within a few seconds you can still have Starfall to be able to get out. Night Stalker coming in top here. Nighttime. He has picked up his boots of speed. He's got earn. He's going to want to get a kill here. Weaver not even level 6, so might be a little bit reluctant to gank push. Here they go off on the Vengeful Spirit. Magic missile and wave coming through. Almost definitely going to get first blood here. And there we go. Weaver picking up the first blood. That's going to be great for him. He's been farming a little bit poorly. Definitely going to help him out here. Lich coming in to get some harass off. Meanwhile, he's going to be harassed back. Mirana arrow narrowly misses. And I think that the Lich is almost definitely going to drop here. Lion coming in also. Might be willing to dive to get this Vengeful Spirit at the tower. Vengeful Spirit or Viper is definitely going to die here. Lion picking off, keeping the Vengeful Spirit on the side. And that's suddenly gone from a 0-0 even game all the way to 4-0. I think Night Stalker definitely benefited a huge amount from that fight. And he's going to be picking up 3 urn charges. 2 for the initial kill.
And he definitely helped as well, initiating those fights. Night Stalker.
Yeah, willing to take Magic Missile and a Hull and still, has enough health to carry on fighting. Meanwhile, Clockwork's taken the opportunity now of everyone leaving the lane. He started pushing this bottom tower. He's done a huge amount of damage, much more than the damage that's been done to his tower. I don't think they'll get it within this wave, but the sieged catapult is doing huge damage. He doesn't want to put it too low because otherwise it'll be deniable. And at a professional level, people don't leave towers on low health when they could be denied. But at the same time, they're supposed to get all their creeps. Isn't that right, Miguel?
What did he do?
He just missed 2 in a row.
Okay.
The one thing I must say I find a lot easier in Dota 2, I've only played a few games, is getting the last hit even when the tower's hitting. In Dota 1, there were only a few heroes that could do enough damage early on to guarantee that, get the last hit on that tower.
You mean like as in fast reaction to hitting?
No. It just the amount of damage that you hit for is often like you have to pre-calculate it. So you have to get a hit off, and like before, then the tower has to get 1 off, and then you have to get the last hit.
Yeah.
It's like not possible for you to hit twice in a time of the tower hitting, at lower levels at least. So, looks like they might be going top here. Puck does have ulti. On cooldown, Vengeful Spirit going to drop. Lich running towards the bushes and dropping.
They're just creaming the bushes at top there.
Weaver got both of those kills. He's on it. He's dominating. And the Puck Orb must have given vision of this Mirana. This Mirana's in no position now where he can just try farm. So, he's going to spend a couple of minutes, a minute or so here, waiting for the lane to stabilize a little bit, waiting for the support to leave, so he can carry on farming. At the same time, he's left middle, and Viper gets crushed by the Puck. Puck and Tidehunter doing so much damage. If Tidehunter gets his nuke off, even though it's not a stun, it's only a slow, makes it so much easier for the Puck to get his orb in. And that's, any spell in Dota which isn't a guaranteed nuke, which is a skill-related item, generally has much better effect. And we're missing another kill on that Mirana top. He was obviously caught out of position and killed by the Weaver. So 8-0, not looking so good for SGC here.
Not at all. Is that because you think that top lane had a lot to do with how this game has just swung? We saw quite a couple of kills in the top corner, and anything can happen in Dota, especially at the high level that this game is. And it's interesting to see how a couple of few events can just swing the game wide open like it just did. We now at 8-0, and looking like it looks like
Smoke Gang coming in top here. Yeah. Definitely going to get a kill on this Viper. This Viper's, I think what's a very important thing to evaluate, silence coming off on the Vengeful Spirit. Or was it just an urn charge? Sorry. I'm still getting used to these animations. They're definitely going to dive this Vengeful Spirit very low. And even if they didn't get it, they still had a Puck very close. Clockwork Orange Goblin coming in. He's actually kind of low, tanking quite a lot. He's got a Lich behind him, and triple kill for a Night Stalker for almost nothing. There was nothing in that fight really.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of nukes that went off and the heroes died. There was nothing special about it. Nothing really well played by SK Gaming. I think the key here is just utility of heroes. Think about Viper with no items. He's almost pointless. Night Stalker with no items can still dive towers. Still has a decent nuke. Weaver, even though he was farming very poorly, when heroes came into his lane to gank, what happened? He was incredibly useful. Those bugs do huge damage. Not necessarily the actual damage themselves, but from the armor reduction. They just help everyone else hit him. So it makes ganking into this lane a lot easier. Bugs coming off here again. Just a bit of harass. Just want to see who's up and close. And definitely reveals the Vengeful Spirit a little bit before he wanted to be revealed. Compare that to someone like a Clockwork Goblin. Clockwork Goblin was level 3-4 at about 10 minutes. 8 minutes. and he's not very helpful. He needed to use that time when the Night Stalker was roaming. He wasn't able to follow him roaming and try, get the counter kills or turn the fights in any way. He actually had to stay in the lane and try get some creeps, try get some experience. So I think that's a very clever.
But do you think the Clockwork has been kind of passive this game? Just trying to let's look at the scoreboard.
I mean, 0 for 1 for 0, no assists. I mean, they've got no kills, so you can't expect any assists on their team. The question is just who's feeding. The Vipers 4 kills. The Vengeful Spirit is 5. I mean, these are deaths. Sorry. I mean, that's just like at 13 minutes. That alone is enough to change the way a game's going to run.
Yeah, but I was just talking about how to himself the Clockwork was. I mean, he has 1 death. That could mean 2 things. Either he's playing well compared to his other teammates, or he's not engaging enough. He's not helping his teammates enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both in this game. He hasn't been in fights. He hasn't been very helpful. Oh, they're going on the Mirana here. Puck giving the vision, and this Mirana's almost certainly dead. Earn charge on him. No earns on his team. Definitely no kills to get the earn charges to counter that earn. Because if you put a positive earn on, well, whatever earn was cast last on you is the one that stays on you.
Yeah.
So if you were negatively earned and you get positively earned, then you start gaining health, even though you would have lost health.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a complicated thing some people don't understand. That's not a derogatory thing for you, just because you're a bad Dota player. I'm not trying
I'm very bad.
You weren't supposed to say that. Going in on the Viper here, just wasn't willing to use or silence was just on cooldown there. Otherwise, he would have gone for it. I think. Clockwork Goblin has hook, maxed out rocket flare, and then just gone 1/1 cogs and battery assault. That's pretty much how most people play Clockwork Goblin. Smarana just going to be harassed so much.
Yeah.
Even at the tower, the Weaver's willing to come forward and hit him a few times. I think the game is very much dominated here by SK Gaming. I'm a bit scared to open up this money graph. Ugh. Jeez.
Over
8,000 gold difference.
Yeah.
Just under 8,000 gold at 15 minutes. That's like 500 gold a minute. That's a huge amount of advantage. This Viper, nothing really impressive. Has a power trade, a wraith band, very much tier 1 items, or essential items, but not for 15 minutes. The Lion, on the other hand, has a Sage's Mask, which was formerly known as Sobi Mask, Booster Speed, Tango, and a GG Twig. Puck, solo middle, has a Bottle, a Null, Treads, keeping him on strength at the moment, and 1 ward. So the warding duty, a little bit interesting here. You don't generally see the solo mid having to ward. I'm not sure if he's actually purchased the wards or if he's just going to be placing them. But regardless, he's obviously needs them to maintain rune control and keep his bottle full. Deny coming in. Lucky there, the Vengeful Spirit and the Lich. Okay, I wouldn't say lucky. These are professional players. Most of the things that they do are 100% intentional. But that seemed a little bit close for my liking. Anyway, they're going towards bottom rune. Vengeful Spirit still dead. Actually, might be back. He's back. He's such a low level that he's already respawned. Lion getting picked off.
And they got the first kill now for SGC.
Puck orbing in. Don't know if he'll take this. If he'll orbit it. And Viper's still here on kind of low health as they're still chasing the Mirana. Night Stalker definitely going to get the kill here.
Yeah.
Got the urn. Wicked sick Night Stalker. This isn't a great situation. Viper's running for the hills. Metaphoric. Oh, and literally. And back down them. Really doesn't want to get picked off here. He doesn't have a huge amount of gold, but at the same time, every little bit of gold counts when you're so far behind. Observer ward coming in here at the bottom, between the 2 towers. It's actually trying to get vision on the 2nd tower, because very often, if you... first of all, this 3rd tier tower, very likely to go down. Puck picking up Blink Dagger just on the side. This tower is going to go down pretty soon. As a result, heroes are going to be TPing in to the second tier tower so as to support that, to try get some kills at the tower, where there's a slight advantage for your team. And as a result, getting vision on the second tier tower is a very, very clever thing to do. I mean, they, for example, can see this Lich, they can see this Mirana being so close. They definitely have much more information about the game, and information is essentially what you use to make good decisions. Looks like they might deny this this tower here. Catapult getting off one last hit, 35 health, and both the Mirana and the Lich going for a hit on it. See, this ward is still effective now, so I think that's a great ward by SK Gaming.
Do people do that often?
Yeah, it is quite a common ward. Getting into that position isn't necessarily a very easy thing because it's quite risky to run up here past where there's almost always a ward watching the bottom rune or the top, one of the runes. Kranich is being a little bit ambitious in my opinion here. He's quite far middle. Most of SK Gaming aren't visible on the map, meaning that this is a bit risky. I'd like to see a ward up on this top tower here, on this top rock tower here. Puck using double damage rune. Obviously wants to get a shot of regen before this fight that they look like they're going to start. Weaver has a Wraith Band, a Wand, a Perseverance, and a Ring of Basilius. And Puck blinks in, uses his ulti, gets the orb and gets 2 heroes with it. Lich ulti, very ineffective, unless he's going to get very lucky here. Weaver gets the kill on the Vengeful Spirit, and Puck's got to run here. He's definitely got Blink Dagger. He's in a very great position to get out. Weaver gets another kill before backtracking. Looks like he might get a kill on the Lich. I think he'll pull back though. He doesn't want to die from his Wicked Sick. And Viper gets a cross kill on the Puck. Puck was maybe a little bit ambitious to come back. This is where Viper's, I think, a very powerful hero. You know, he's able to farm very, very quickly, you know, in terms of getting every hit, every deny. But at this stage, he's a little bit behind. You know, level 12 versus level 10 isn't ideal, especially when this was a solo against your tri-lane and you didn't kill him at all. His goal differential must have gone up even further. Just under 13,000 difference, and we miss a kill on the Clockwork. Murphy's Law. Actually, I'm going to call this now Lutando's Law.
Why is it my law? I've done nothing wrong.
It's whenever you think about a statistic and you want to look it up, you miss out something important.
Oh yeah. Is that my law?
That's definitely your law. Every time you ask me to look at something breaks. Anyway, very happy to see right at the top that the game's still recording. Yesterday, not impressed at all with the fact that it wasn't recording.
Very sad.
Was so tired when it was happening. Anyway, yeah, so we're reaching a point now when nothing really exciting is happening. Guys, if you have any advice, any pointers, anything you want us to do, to see, to say, to shout out, whatever, just, long range ambitious Podomaro rapes the shit out of this range creep. This range creep, you're never going to get us life back. And there's 4 heroes for SK Gaming moving around bottom. Only 2 of them are visible, the Tidehunter and the Night Stalker. Clockwork being a little bit ambitious here. I think he's just going to die straight up.
Yeah, he just came for no reason.
He came in, very lucky, and ultimately dies to the Puck. Another kill going to go off on the Viper here. This Lich is a little bit too far forward, and Night Stalker can be very ambitious. Still, Tidehunter ulti on cooldown. Puck is just healing up a little bit. Doesn't have an urn himself, but I don't know how he got the last kill. Must have been an auto. And such great ability to clear waves here. You know, it's obviously Lich ulti actually being rather impressive this time. But I mean, if you think about it, they can nuke with Lion Impale, Puck orb over the top, and that's all those creeps for Puck straight up.
Yeah.
It's very important that you have an ability to ramp your farming at some point, in some way. You know, whether it be an anti-mage who gets a Battle Fury and can start rising, or if you have a Windrunner and a Potem power shots Starfall, you know, it's a very, very powerful thing to have, where you can instantly clear a wave with just one spell for 2 heroes. Earthshaker, Windrunner, Crystal Maiden, Windrunner. You know, it's always great where you can just say boom, boom, wave dead. You know, that allows you to give an entire wave to one hero in 2 seconds. Very, very, very important.
And in the late game, when there's quite a bit of congestion within the lanes, it's good to have one hero that can come from around the sides from the blanks and just clear out a clear out some creeps, and let the creeps do all the work while
Yeah.
you guys are just pushing. You
And
can-
that's like one of the key things is how much damage that range creep does in a wave. I just don't know why the Moran is by himself. I mean, sure, he could have almost got away if he wasn't silenced. Could have leapt into bushes and then TP'd. But it's probably a needed risk in his mind. He thinks to himself he has to try make a change in the game.
Another denied tower. This one more surprising than the others because Weaver was there to actually take it if he wanted.
Yeah, but remember that there's a 25% miss up hills. So, Lich obviously 100% guaranteed to hit it. Anyway, now, so guys, if you have any suggestions, as I was saying before, just put them down as comments below or write on castersunite.com, www.castersunite.com. It's still, as I said, it's still in beta, so if your comment somehow deletes itself, it's probably because I was bad and deleted a database. Still in beta, still being worked on. Our goal is to have forecasts up every week, and yeah, I think that's quite an achievable goal. This Weaver, since the tower went down, being very aggressive, has the ulti to get out, but he knows how to use his spells. He's not a noob as such.
Yeah.
And Roshan getting picked up by the Night Stalker. I don't even know if Night Stalker is gonna die at all, but
What items does Nostok have? Is that
he's got a Battle Fury, an Urn, a Power Treads, and a Magic Wand.
Okay.
So not opting for the Vanguard, going for the more DPS intensive Battle Fury. Probably they just want to push now and end, and Battle Fury is helpful. Weaver just crushing. He's got Lincoln Sphere. Can pretty much just go in, do what he wants. Venture Spirit dropping. Clockwork Goblin having to cogs to try get out. And for some reason SK Gaming deciding to pull out there even though 2 of the enemy heroes were dead. I think they're waiting just for middle to push a bit. That way it's forcing SGC into a situation where they've got to choose to defend one side and the other side's definitely going to fall. You know, something bug could have happened and could have dropped one of their heroes somehow, just exploded. You never know with beta games. And fortification coming out by SGC. This is almost a sign that like pretty much over for them. I don't even think that they're gonna come and try defend. Still waiting. Gonna maybe hold back at their base towers and try to defend middle. They gave up their top racks. They just weren't in a position to fight at that time. And it's very likely SK Gaming's just going to come middle and end the game straight up.
Yeah, very much one-sided game. 26-2 scoreline. I don't know if I've been in any games where that was the scoreline, but if I was on the side which has the score of 2, I'd be really, really...
Clockwork coming in, picking up the Weaver and the Tide Hunter. Lich ulti going in but coming out straight away. That's very unlucky. Weaver getting a kill, Puck picking up a kill, Lion picking up a kill. 5 for 1. Only the Tide Hunter dropped to the Clockwork.
Yeah, we should be seeing a GG. Well, pretty soon. Yeah, there we go.
Levi down, GG.
All 5 of them are gone, and yeah, there's no one to defend.
Yeah, guys. So if you got any replays that you want us to watch, just include them as a comment. Like, we haven't received a huge amount of comments on Reddit. We have received it on forums and places where we just post our first game. We understand, you know, we're new to the scene, new to the Dota 2 casting scene. So it might take some time for you to adjust to us. It might take some time for us to adjust to you. So just more feedback is always better. And GG's already come out. Must be part of a tournament where the rule is to play until the end or play until the throne dies. A lot of Dota 2 tournaments have had that as the underlying rule. They're not very impressed with the team just saying GG and quitting. Battle Fury getting Miguel almost all the creeps. Gold differential here, 27 minutes, is 27,200 gold. Huge amount of gold. It's 1,000 gold, over 1,000 gold a minute difference between the two teams.
Yeah, and as the game goes on towards the end, you're just farming insane amounts of money because of the items you have.
Yeah, especially when you've opted for items such as Battle Fury, you know, where you can it's just gonna ramp up your farm even more. This Mirana is just being a little bit cheeky, just running away, even though the game's over, still wanting to try get some cheeky kills at the end there. Here's a quick look at peek at all the items. Lots of wraith bands on the dire. You can see they were very far behind, having to opt.
Jeez, and can you go back to that board you're on now?
Sure.
So just have a look at the levels. It's just sad. Like most of them aren't even on double digits. 3 of them are on single digits, and it's.
Here's a better view of. You can see who XP per second, XP per minute gain. Nothing really impressive to write home. Maybe this is something worth mentioning. Was the Vengeful Spirit that had under 100 XP a minute. That's incredibly low. Even when I played it, I get more than 100. No, I'm just.
You wanna take take the pro scene by storm now?
Yeah, take the pro scene by storm. I'm the best support. Anyway, thanks for watching the cast, guys. Leave us any supports, messages, money, hookers, prostitutes, hookers and prostitutes, hookers, prostitutes, anything you want. Just leave it for us on YouTube as a comment. We'll be sure to read it. And yeah, shout out
and
to.
And I'm Crazy Monkey, by the way.
I'm Knoxville. We'll see you guys next time.